Hey, welcome, Renate Künast.
Let me start with the not very nice issue, the nuclear disaster in Japan. I think looking at this, we all have to consider that the last 2 weeks now, we all went to television to have a last view before we go to bed, or started the morning with television, what had happened there. And I think the nuclear disaster has changed a bit in Germany, the discussion. If there will be decisions, we'll see, but it has changed the discussion. I think the nuclear disaster in Fukushima shows us how difficult the situation can be for the whole mankind if we look at the area of Fukushima, Tokyo, the densely populated regions. The question is, will it be possible to evacuate Tokyo, even if a radioactive cloud threatens the capital of Japan? Will it be possible? Or could it mean on the other side that Tokyo could possibly turn into a deadly prison? This is a horrible vision. But this is one of the examples of the industrial age. What have they done with the question of energy with their cities? I think this illustrates the dilemma of the industrial age. And this also illustrates the dilemma of big cities. Their hunger for energy and resources causes a lot of problems for the environment and for mankind. No one has ever imagined that a catastrophe of the extent of Fukushima with a parallel meltdown of 4 blocks would really happen. Not even I did this. 4 blocks at the same time. And this is, we have to focus on this, not in the Ukraine, or you can say old technology, not a high security standard. It's really happened, this is crucial, it happened in a technologically highly developed country. I have to focus on this because I think that Fukushima is changing the debate. It has a possibility that people are focusing more on change. There will be maybe a stop on this ideologically focused way to say, look at profits. Be nice to the 4 energy companies in Germany, for example. Maybe there is a change. And if I discuss about change, this also means that cities must be part of the change, part of the solution and not longer the problem. And that's it. For many 100 years, cities, have been, and they still are, the place where people want to be. Creative people looking for work. But on the other hand, the cities have also been the cause for environmental and social problems. And now the point should be, how can cities be part of the solutions? And what does this really imply? You see, what we need to build is something like, a post-nuclear city, as we know now. 2 weeks ago, I would have only said we need to build the post-oil cities. But now you see by Fukushima, we need to organize the post-nuclear cities. This is my dream. This is my dream for this post-oil or post-nuclear cities. There are a lot of cities built in the desert, wherever. I think you all know cities, new-built cities like Masdar in the United Arab Emirates or Dongtan in China, and there are some other cities, really built new cities. They are important visions for it's a bit early, the beep, huh? They are really important cities, important visions for us to have an idea how could cities look like. They're a bit, you could say, stimulating power on our imagination. They show us how it could be. But, and this is the problem, We are going through the world not only by saying how can we build a new city on an island or in the desert. The point is, while living, working, producing, transporting in a city, we have to change the city to the post-oil or post-nuclear cities. They have to be part of the solution. And if I look at Germany, I say we have 4 cities that have more than 4 million inhabitants. And no doubt, my opinion is Berlin should be the number 1. The number 1 of the 1 million, more than 1 million cities in Germany that show how it could work. That is it. It's not only be Berlin. Berlin has to become the city that shows how it works. The biggest city of Germany, the capital of Germany, with, I would say, public transport of a high standard, provided the S-Bahn works. Berlin still has a lot of free space. People from all over the world live here. A lot of creative people live here. And I don't only think on the traditional creative class. It's also the engineering, all the people that are able to say, is there a different solution? Is there a way to do it totally different than we do it today? 3 universities, a Charité, one of the biggest university hospitals in Europe, and I think you could say number 2 worldwide, and really an outstanding range of cultural attractions, creative entrepreneurs. I know Berlin has really a high potential to be not only the capital, but also the climate capital of Germany. I think Berlin must be the city that shows how it works. And therefore, we must look at the city as a whole. You see, and this is, at the very end, not only climate change. It's also a green city for me, a smart green city, is not only being climate capital. It's also, and this is my vision, a sustainable city, which really includes the ecological, the economical, and the social aspects together. A city of the 21st century. How to build this is the question. A city that fits with all his solutions to the problems of the 21st century, from climate change to renewable energy to the democratic change. And this is what Berlin could be, a flagship that shows how it works in a different way. For myself, I always have this vision for the future of Berlin with these transparent sheets, you know it? For myself, I built up a picture of Berlin using transparent layers of sheets for the different aspects. How to manage the city of the 21st century, how to manage and organize a smart green capital. Therefore, I don't have only a plan or a map, it's just the transparent sheets. One for the traffic system, the streets, the railway lines, and the next is a transparent sheet for the green parts of the city, the public parks, the green at the S-Bahn lines, all connected to having a better climate in the city, especially for the hot days, and also being part for public life and good life in a city of the 21st century. I put another on it for work and living, to go off the industrial city of the 19th century, their living, their production and industry, and put them together. How do I come from home to work or from home to school? This is the next point. Where do the people work? Where is education? Where is business? Where do the people live? And putting all these transparent sheets one on the other, at the very end you see a green capital, a smart green capital, with a lot of decentralized solutions. We aim to establish, to reach this, a new political culture. And this has 2 aspects. The one point is include your citizens, interact with the citizens. I think this is the first point. If we want to make a change and build the city, a smart green city of the 21st century, the first point is you never do it alone. You never do it alone. You have to include the citizens. And we have learned from Stuttgart. We have learned from S21. This is one of the strongest examples how especially huge projects are going wrong. Don't ask the people at the end, or your citizens at the end, ask them at the beginning. You need a public debate about what is our problems, which alternatives do we have. You always have alternatives. You know, the one is longer, the next is cheaper, the next is more vision. But let's define the problem, let's discuss about the different alternatives and solutions, and then come to decisions. And the most important point is include into and enact the people, the citizens at the very beginning. Give them the possibility to really, truly influence a project you are going for. And I'm sure to build a new city or to change an existing city to a smart green capital means you cannot do it alone. You need the people, you need the industry. And this is my second point. Establish a different way of discussing with entrepreneurs, with people that want to invest, with industry that is here or wants to come. Let me use the picture of a round table, something like a round table for innovation. And please don't think on all the round tables you already know. I think of a different one. It's also a new political culture to say, let's sit together and discuss what is the problem, which are the solutions. If we invest money, how much do we have to invest? How much can we reach with 1 million euros, for example? Are there alternatives? Where, on which part the investment could be most efficient? You see, discuss it to get a push for innovation. And then the question is, who is sitting on the round table? It's not a one-way communication between executive people or governing mayors, on the other hand, industries or investors. It's a debate and a discussion to understand the other side. And everyone goes home with a paper where she or he has noted the homeworks we have to do. What has the government to do? Does the government give support? What could others do and learn? The next question is, who is sitting on the table? This is also a new political culture for a smart green city. For example, what is it? Green design. Why don't we have design together with industry on an innovation table? Because, you know, if you look for new solutions, you have to discuss with the design. In former times, when we thought about cities and products you use in the daily life, we thought about architecture. But it's not only about architecture. It's a holistic approach. How does all this work and function? Where does the energy come? Do we share energy, or does everyone do we do it centralized? Does everyone do it for his own? No.